Have you ever walked into a room and felt like someone instantly noticed you? Not because of what you said, not because of how you looked, but because of the energy you carried. Most men think attraction starts with words. It doesn't. Sometimes the moment you enter her world, her mind starts racing before you even speak. And the scary part? You probably never notice it happening, because female psychology is quiet, subtle, layered. And today, we're going inside it. Not the fake internet version, not the fantasy, the real emotional experience many women go through when a man truly affects them. And once you understand this, you'll never see attraction the same way again. There's something most men misunderstand about women. They think women are always analyzing looks and status, money, confidence. And yes, those things can matter, but psychology goes deeper than appearances. A woman can forget a handsome face. She can ignore a perfect outfit. But she rarely forgets how someone made her feel emotionally. That's the part men miss. Because attraction inside the female mind often begins long before romance ever enters the picture. It starts with emotional safety, curiosity, attention, tension, and tiny emotional moments most people overlook. So in this video, we're breaking down what many women actually feel when a man enters their emotional space, why some men become unforgettable, and why others disappear from memory almost instantly. And trust me, point number 4 changes everything. The first thing many women feel is awareness. Not attraction, awareness. See, when a man walks into a room with calm energy, emotional control, and genuine presence, something shifts psychologically. Because most people today are noisy. They seek attention, they perform, they try too hard, but calm confidence creates curiosity. Imagine this. A woman is sitting with friends at a cafe. Everyone is talking loudly. Phones are everywhere. People are trying to impress each other. Then someone walks in quietly. Relaxed posture. No fake energy. No desperate need to be noticed. And suddenly, her attention moves. Not because he demanded it. Because emotionally, calmness feels rare. Female psychology often reacts strongly to emotional contrast. The man who feels different becomes memorable. And here's where it gets interesting. Women often notice emotional details men never realize they're showing. How you react under pressure, how you treat strangers, whether your confidence disappears when challenged, whether your kindness feels real or strategic. Because many women subconsciously ask one question: who is he when nobody is watching? That question matters more than most men think. And this leads to the second feeling, emotional curiosity. This is where attraction quietly begins. Not from perfection, but from mystery. Now wait, mystery does not mean acting cold. It doesn't mean ignoring her, and it definitely doesn't mean pretending not to care. Real mystery happens when someone feels emotionally grounded, when they don't overshare immediately, when they have depth beyond surface-level attention. Think about the people you remember most in life. Usually they weren't the loudest. They were the ones who made you wonder, who are they really? Why do they seem different? What are they thinking? Curiosity creates emotional investment, and female psychology is heavily connected to emotional imagination. If she starts imagining conversations with you, replaying interactions, wondering about your intentions, you're already occupying mental space, and most men ruin this stage. They try to force connection too quickly, instant texting, constant validation, endless explaining, but emotional tension needs space to breathe. That's what makes anticipation powerful. Now here's something even deeper. Women often feel safest around men who don't emotionally pressure them. Read that again. Pressure kills connection. A man who constantly seeks reassurance creates emotional exhaustion. But a man who is secure within himself creates emotional comfort. And comfort is powerful, because female psychology is deeply influenced by emotional atmosphere. How do you make her nervous system feel? Calm? Unsafe? Judged? Seen? Most attraction isn't logical. It's emotional memory. And emotional memory comes from feelings. Not lines. Not tricks. Not manipulation. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people instantly drain your energy while others make you feel relaxed without trying? That emotional effect matters more than appearance. And women notice it fast. But here's the twist nobody talks about. Sometimes the strongest emotional reaction isn't excitement. It's confusion. Because when a woman genuinely feels emotionally affected by someone, she may not understand it immediately herself. And that's where things get complicated, because the female mind often analyzes emotions internally before expressing them outwardly, which means a woman can think about you long before she shows it. And this brings us to one of the biggest psychological triggers of all: emotional consistency. This is rare today. Very rare. Most people are emotionally unpredictable. One day they care. The next day they disappear. One moment they're kind. The next moment they're cold. But consistency creates trust, and trust creates emotional openness. Imagine two men. The first is exciting but unstable. The second is calm, reliable, emotionally mature. At first, the exciting one may grab attention. But over time, the emotionally stable man feels safer psychologically, and safety is often misunderstood. Safety does not mean boring. It means emotionally dependable. It means she doesn't feel like she's constantly managing your moods. It means she can relax around you. That matters more than most men realize, because many women spend their lives around emotional chaos. So when they meet someone emotionally grounded, it stands out immediately. Now let's go even deeper. One of the most powerful feelings women experience is feeling emotionally understood, not fixed. Understood. There's a huge difference. Many men hear a woman speak and instantly try to solve the problem, but emotional connection often grows through listening, presence, attention, understanding the emotion underneath the words. For example, sometimes when a woman says she's tired, she's not asking for advice. She's asking if someone notices her emotional weight. And when a man truly listens without trying to control the conversation, it creates emotional closeness. Because feeling understood is rare, very rare. Most people wait for their turn to speak. Few people genuinely listen, and female psychology responds strongly to emotional awareness. Not perfection, awareness. Now here's the part most men never expect. Women often remember small moments more than grand gestures. A short conversation, a thoughtful detail, a moment where they felt seen unexpectedly. Why? Because emotionally significant moments are often tiny. A man remembering something she casually mentioned weeks ago, a calm reaction during stress, a genuine compliment that isn't focused only on appearance. These moments create emotional fingerprints, and emotional fingerprints last, because the brain attaches emotion to memory. That's why sometimes a woman can't explain why she keeps thinking about someone. It wasn't one massive event. It was a collection of emotional moments. Now let's talk about the feeling many women rarely admit openly: vulnerability. When a woman begins emotionally caring about someone, fear often enters too. Fear of disappointment, fear of misunderstanding, fear of emotional imbalance. And this is important, because many men assume emotional distance means lack of interest. Sometimes it means emotional caution, especially in today's world where trust feels fragile. That's why emotional patience matters. Strong connection usually grows slowly, not through pressure, not through forcing labels, but through repeated emotional safety, repeated trust, repeated consistency. And this leads to one of the strongest psychological truths in relationships. Women are often drawn toward how a man handles emotion, not just how he expresses charm. Charm can attract attention. Emotional maturity builds connection. Huge difference. A man who can stay calm during disagreement, take accountability, communicate honestly, and protect emotional peace will often leave a deeper impression than someone simply trying to impress. Because deep down, many women are asking, can this person handle real life emotionally? Not just fun moments, real moments. Stress, conflict, uncertainty. That's where psychology becomes reality. And now we reach the final layer, the feeling that changes everything: emotional impact. This is what makes someone unforgettable. Not perfection, not status, impact. Some people walk into your life and leave no emotional trace. Others change the way you think, feel, and see yourself. And often, the people who create the deepest impact are the ones who make others feel emotionally accepted, not judged, not pressured, accepted. Because at the core of human psychology, everyone wants to feel emotionally safe being themselves. And when a woman feels that around someone, her mind remembers it. Even after conversations end, even after time passes, that emotional memory stays alive. So what do women really feel when someone enters their emotional world? Not just attraction, not just excitement. They feel curiosity, safety, tension, comfort, confusion, connection, and sometimes a quiet emotional shift they can't fully explain. Because female psychology isn't as simple as most internet advice makes it sound. It's emotional, layered, human. And maybe the biggest lesson of all is this: the men who leave the strongest impression usually aren't trying the hardest to impress. They're simply emotionally real, calm in who they are, present in the moment, and aware of how they make others feel. That's what people remember, not perfect words, not rehearsed lines. Feelings, always feelings. If you made it this far, comment the word awareness below. I want to know who's still watching. And tell me honestly, what's one emotional trait that instantly changes the way you see someone? If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology-based content inspired by human behavior, attraction, and emotional intelligence. And remember, people may forget what you said. They may even forget what you looked like. But they rarely forget how you made them feel.